Awesome, guys. So I'm going to make sure you have your screens on. I'm super excited. I'm going to actually keep this a lot shorter than I thought. Last time I did this training, we went for a little bit over 2 hours, but I decided to break it up into different pieces just to allow you to really dissect the information. This is really, really important. You know, warm market is one of the most important markets because it's the market that you first dive into. It's the people that you first speak to. It's your closest friends, your closest relatives, and different things like that. So I take this training very seriously. So I really, 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 really recommend that once this is done, watch the recording, have your notes out now, review your notes, and then ask questions either at the end of this or to me directly, so I can help you go through this. And so, guys, I have some amazing updates, and I want to just talk about updates really quick of what's going to be happening in December. We're going to have a December to remember. This is going to be one of the most powerful months, I think, of the year because it's what's going to project us to London. It's what's going to project us to New York. It's what's going to project us to our goals for Q1 and to our goals at the end of 2020. It's going to be the first year that starts off the decade and the last month of the one that we're currently in. And we have a lot of phenomenal speakers. Next week, we have Matt Rosa coming to train our team. We have Emery coming to train our team. We have a lot of high-profile chairmen coming in week after week after week after week after week, all throughout December, 2 trainings a week, just to give you everything you need to prepare you for the year that has already started, which is 2020. There's also going to be a lot of updates to our schedule. You know, what we've been doing is running a lot of mindset trainings, and they've been phenomenal. They've been absolutely amazing, but we're really going to incorporate a lot of technical, a lot of action-based trainings alongside the technical, spiritual, personal development trainings that we have been having. We're adding trading trainings throughout the week every Monday night. So, for example, tonight at 10, Mike Navarrete, he'll be online doing a training for the team. Every Wednesday, we'll have crypto economics. Every Friday, we're going to have back testing with Rodney or someone who is in the Mentor Chart channel. And then we're going to have about 2 to 3 op calls a week. So you're going to see a lot of amazing things happen. Now, January is going to be a little bit different. January is going to be a lot of pounding and grinding and making things happen. So the call schedule may be elevated simply just because the influx of new traders that are going to come in. And in January, expect Discord to be around 3,000 people. By the end of January, Discord will probably be around 3,000 people. We're currently at about 2,010 right now. And January is just an amazing month. January is the month where a lot of people, have this new year, new me mindset, but really want to take action steps to change their life around, their financial situation, the lack of time that they're experiencing, their why that's not being accomplished. And especially with the year that we're in, 2020 being the first year of the new decade, the first month of the new decade, is going to be a month that really shifts and determines what you're going to do over the next 10 years. Now, obviously, if you're watching this video and it's like 2023, right? You're not late. There's no such thing as a late time, but it's understanding and being consciously aware of where you're at and being with the right people at the right time in the right company at the right, group, whatever you want to say. But being consciously aware of that, I think that's the most important thing. So, guys, I love talking about warm marketing. When I first built this business, my warm market all got started. I never had issues. I never got a lot of no's. I built this extremely fast because I did it properly, right? I spoke to people properly and I got people in properly. I've signed probably now over 125 people into this company personally, personals with my link, with giving people away, with, doing different things like that. So the warm market to me is something that I think I really specialize in. Obviously, I love the cold market. I plan on doing a training on that next Monday. There's going to be a social media training next Monday, and we're going to have Matt Rosa on December 4th, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. So for those who are on this call, make sure you mark your calendars. No one else knows that yet. There's been no announcement about it. I wasn't going to announce it until after Thanksgiving, but since you guys are here live, congratulations, you get to know. So I'm going to go over a couple things, right? Because I think a lot of times people, they look for the technical side of everything, but they don't understand the power of belief and your mindset itself. And I think that's one of the biggest things here is how are you looking at the company? How are you looking at yourself? How are you looking at your team? Your perspective is going to determine your result. I think that's one of the biggest things here. So write this down. Belief, confidence, influence, right? Belief, confidence, influence. In order for you to influence someone to do anything, you must first have belief, right? Belief leads to level of confidence, and confidence is what attracts people to be influenced by the things that you are telling them, which thus allows them to make a decision, right? So how do we increase belief? I think belief is one of the easiest things to increase when you actually know what you're looking at, right? We can look at this from a corporate perspective. We can look at this from an organizational perspective. We can look at this from an industry perspective, right? We'll start with corporate. Let's start with corporate as a whole. And we'll start from the top and work our way down a little bit. Let's look at Christopher Terry, right? Christopher Terry is a 9-figure trader, documented. He's been in New York Times. He's been in Bloomberg. He's been in multiple financial education books. He's taught for hundreds of people at $10,000 for 3-day courses. He is a seasoned veteran, right? That is your CEO and your founder. Let's look at your co-founder, Isis De La Torre, or your CFO, right? One of the largest stockbrokers before she retired, female stockbrokers. Honestly, without her as the backbone of this company, I don't think we'll be where we are today, right? Now let's look at our chairman elite, right? Let's look at Jason Brown, Matt Rosa, Ivan Tapia, David Amitier, Alex Moore, right? Alex Moore is pound for pound the highest paying and most sought after distributor in the industry. He's going to be Forbes 30 under 30. He's been in Rolling Stones, right? He receives more contracts for, what are they called? For people to pay for him to come to their company than any other distributor has ever received in the industry, right? He was called the Wonder Boy when he was in his early 20s because that's how big and how fast he was building organizations and how much money he was making. Now you have Ivan Tapia, right? Let's start with David Amitier and then we'll go to Ivan Tapia. David Amitier, the #1 African-American earner in the industry, in the world, is in the company. Left his company making over $500,000 a month to come to a company that only had a few thousand people in it. What did he see that you can't see? Why did he have belief leaving millions of dollars a year and you don't have any belief now, right? Ivan Tapia, the #1 Latino earner in the world. Matt Rosa, the #2 Latino earner in the world. Jason Brown, the #1 Caucasian earner in the world. Guys, we have 4 of the top 10 network marketers in the world in a company that only has 125,000 people. In the top 100, we have about a dozen. We have Bryce Thompson at 250. We have Austin Godsey at 100. Darwin Lopez, Emery Holmes at Chairman 100. We have multiple different leaders. John Guaman, 23 years old, $50,000 a month. There's over 240 chairmen in this company. So over 240 people right now are making anywhere from 6 to 8 figures in this company. This company is making so much money on a residual side. It's helping so many people. Legally, we're allowed to say the average person is making $500 to $2,000 a month. Think about how crazy that is. Guys, $1,000 a month puts you in the top 10% of all earners in the industry. The top 10%. That's how much money this company is paying out. That's how much people are winning and how fast that they're doing it. Now let's look at a organizational standpoint. Let's look at the trade house, right? We'll start with the educators, and we don't need to talk much about all the chairmen, but let's just talk about the education in the system. Zachary Hogan, he was the #1 trainer at a company called Tradin in Europe. He would train people to become professional traders. Jordan Morgan, not only did he create our original crypto academy, he's also the reason why we have Crypto Go Live. Mike Miles, not only did he create Go Live for Forex, he helped with the original Forex Academy. Mike Navarrete, the only dual language educator in the company, who's also on Swipe Trades, who's top 5 in the world on TradingView, and has now been on TV multiple different times. Those are people that you have relationships with. Those are people that you're able to message. Those are people that you're able to have conversations with. Guys, there's 2.7 million people in Chicago. This is perspective. 2.7 million people in Chicago, and there is currently only 1 chairman. Me. That doesn't make sense. Why? Why is it not more? Because there's a lack of awareness. Are there any chairmen around you right now? No? Then that person needs to become you. Guys, there's no chairmen in Minnesota. There's no chairman in Ohio. There's no chairman in Wisconsin. There's no chairman in Indiana. There's no chairman in the Virginias. There is nobody in the flyover states. Once you understand your position and once you understand the timing that you got involved, you will understand the importance of why you need to have belief right now, why you need to go all in. Guys, you'd understand smart money concepts. You know more than I knew in over 2 years of trading, and you learned that in your first 30 days. Do you understand the power you have there? Do you guys see the leverage that you have? It's powerful, right? That should increase your belief. That should take away all lack of doubt, just from a logical standpoint. I don't even need to go into a spiritual standpoint. I'm talking about what you can physically see on paper, who you're with. You guys are with the Harvard of Forex, the Yale of Forex, the MIT of Forex. You guys are with the biggest school ever for networking. You guys have everything in your pocket. That needs to be your belief. Even if you don't believe in you, believe in the fact that you are placed with a group of people right now for a reason. Because once you believe that, what happens? You now have confidence. And when you have confidence, you're able to speak a little differently. You walk a little differently. You talk a little differently. You do things a little differently. And people begin to notice that. People are attracted, right? Women are attracted to men with confidence. They don't care what you look like. They don't care what's in your bank account. They're attracted to your confidence and the vision that you have of where you're going. That's what people are attracted to. That is what leads you to influence. It leads you straight to influence. Guys, if you can understand leverage and you can understand edification, you can go chairman. It's the first thing Jason Brown ever taught me. The first time I flew out, and the second time I flew out to Dallas, it was in 2017. We had an event. Jason Brown was there. He was giving me a private training because, like I said, I was building pretty fast. And he said, Tim, as long as you understand how to edify, you will go chairman. You must edify your way to chairman. He said, watch how people speak who make a lot of money. It's the people who make no money are the ones who talk about themselves. It's the people who have everything you want that's talking about everyone else. Why? Because the people who have everything that you want don't need to talk about themselves because you know they have it. That's why they talk about other people. Guys, you must learn how to edify. We'll go over that in a second. Number 2, leverage. You have to understand who you're working with. You don't you don't go get a haircut, right? And it looks really, really good. And then you go tell your friend you'll cut your hair. You'll cut his or her hair. What do? You send them to the barber or to the salon that did it. You don't go to a restaurant and have a really good meal and then you go cook it. You send someone else to the restaurant. You don't get a degree, right, to become a doctor, and then that gives you the right to teach people how to become a doctor. No, you send people to that university. Once you understand that you are only leveraging a system and you're the connecting puzzle piece that people need, that is when you'll become successful. If you haven't made 6 figures, stop trying to teach people how to trade. If you haven't made 6 figures in residual, stop trying to be the big shot. Leverage people that have the results. Because guys, guess what? In your warm market, it's one of the hardest markets if you do this wrong. And when you burn your warm market, it's burned. And I'm saying that not to scare you, to put fear in you. I'm telling you to keep it real, right? Because your friends, they love you, but they don't respect you. Your friends know you for who you are. Your friends don't see you in the mansion, in the jet, in the whatever. It doesn't matter how positive or what your mindset is or what your Instagram looks like. Your friends do not want you to be the one that gives you the opportunity because they don't want you to be the one that's on a higher pedestal than them. So what happens? You leverage. You leverage. Guys, why does Armando call me the leverage king? Because I've understood this from the beginning. I leverage everything. Systems, people, money. I leverage it all. Why? Because leverage is powerful. Rich people leverage. Poor people what? Get leveraged. So if that's what poor people do, why am I trying to leverage myself? I was just in Wisconsin. I may have said this in Chicago too. I said, I don't ever want to have to speak again. I don't ever want to have to speak at an event again because all I've done is duplicated leaders who have potential and the capability to speak, and I just come in when it's necessary. What is that? Leverage. Now, we're going into a completely other topic there, but I'm going to dive into it. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Belief, confidence, influence. You don't have the results you want right now, you're lacking belief. That's it. That is literally it. I promise you guys. It's not that you don't know how to talk to someone. Everyone knows how to talk to people, right? You buy a new video game, what do? You convince your friends to go buy that game. You go to a restaurant and you really like that restaurant, what do? You convince your friends to go to that restaurant with you, right? You have a favorite soccer team, favorite basketball team, favorite football team. You know everything about that team to convince your friends why that's the best team, right? Like, we all know sales. We all know how to influence. But the only way we influence is if we're confident in what we believe in. So in order to be confident, what? Increase the belief. And when the beliefs increase, what? You have higher results. You want 10x results? 10x your belief. Why have I spent 15 minutes talking about this? Because everything else I talk about is irrelevant if you do not have belief. Guys, trust me. I know. Tim, just shut up and start talking about how do I start talking to people. If you don't have this part right here, it doesn't matter what you say. You must have belief. Trust me. Please, please, please just trust me, right? So let's go into the warm market, right? There's different types of market here. You have your hot market, you have your warm market, and you have your cold market. Your hot market is your closest friends. Your warm market is the friends of people you know, and your cold market is people you don't know. I'm going to speak specifically for the hot market tonight, right? The hot, the warm market, just those things specifically. Next week, I'm going to talk about cold market, because I want to go through this in the next 30 minutes or so. The most important thing to do before you attack your market, right? And I don't want to really use that word attack, right? Before you dive deep into your market, to show them what you're doing, right? Because guys, this is important. A lot of people, they make a list and they don't even write anything at the top. They're not even programming their mind on how they're going to have a conversation. When I make a list, it says people's lives who I am going to impact. People's lives who I am going to impact. I do this because now I know when I go into a conversation, I believe confidently that I can impact this person's life if me and that person have a conversation, if I send them a video, if I bring them to an event, right? I believe that. And that's why I write it. Now, I put people into 3 separate groups. It's 3 separate groups. You can put them into 100 groups if you want to. You can do, my friends from school, my friends from college, my friends at work, my friends from my soccer team, my friends from my academic club. You can do that too. But I think it's easy when you understand people's influence, because now you know how to actually have the proper conversation. So there's 3 different kinds of lists here. You have, and I would write this down, right? The first list is people you have influence over. People you have influence over. The second list is people you have influence with, right? People that they're equal influence to you. There's no really, I'm better, they're better. It's kind of equal. You see eye to eye. And then the third one is people who have influence over you or believe that they have influence over you. Typically people with ego, right? The easiest way to understand who goes in that list is write down the names of the people that you're afraid to talk to. That's how you know they have influence over you. If you're going through your contact book and you don't want to write a name down, that person goes in list number 3, right? So let's go through the 3 lists here and let's kind of break down which each one is. People you have influence over are typically really close friends. It's your yes man. It's your younger siblings. It's your cousins. It's, people that if you say something, they do it, right? This will probably be one of the smaller lists that you're going to have, but it's one of the easiest ones to actually go towards. So don't worry if this list is smaller than everyone else. It's probably only going to be 20% or less of the names you have, unless you yourself are an influencer already and have been in business or have been in a position of leadership for a very long time. Now, the second list is people you have influence with. These are typically coworkers. This can be another group of friends. This can be, siblings that are the same age as you. This is people that you just typically have conversations with. There's no influence one side or the other. When they say something, you don't always do it. When you say something, they don't always do it. You're an equal, someone that's equal. Now, the people that have influence over you, this can be, older family members, aunts, uncles. This can be people with big egos. This could be people who make a lot of money. When you're writing these lists and you're putting people, what's it called? And you're writing people's names, you're going to have a feeling. You're going to know what that person is. I can't tell you what you know, right? So when I'm going through my contact book and I write down some of my people I used to work with at the accounting firm, I'm afraid to write their name because I know they make a lot of money and they're already situated in their current role. and I don't believe that they're going to want to change what they do, right? That's someone that has influence over me in conversation. Not that I believe they're better than me, but I just know that they have some type of influence over my thought process, right? That's how you know. Someone I think about my, little cousin or one of my best friends, I put them into I have influence over because I'm confident in just hitting them with an invite really quick. I'm just confident. I have no thought process. It just does it. Everyone else goes into the center group. Now, the next part is how to properly ask people, how to properly prospect, right? Like Rodney just said, how do I properly prospect? It's not that people don't want to see this, right? Everyone wants to see this. Statistically, people want this. 87% of people in Gen Z want to work from home or make money from their phone. 67% of millennials, so people that are like up to 35, 38 years old right now, want to work from home, want another source of income, or want to make money from their phone, right? So 6 out of 10 people minimum, right, want some type of extra income. 85% of people in America currently hate their job. So that means that 85 out of 100 people are currently in position to be interested in an income potential opportunity. But how are you presenting that income potential opportunity to them? That's really the biggest part right there. That's really what matters. So let's go through this, and let's go ahead and start and work our way up, right? Let's talk about the people you have influence over. How do you ask them? And I'm going to do this more towards events, right? I'm going to do this. I'll separate. I'll do events. I'll do a webinar, and then I'll break down PS3. And I think let's actually go back. Let's start with PS3. I think a lot of people don't understand what this is. And I know we've talked about it a lot, but this is like, guys, up to P1K, you have to do nothing other than PS3. Like if you're a P600, you're a P1000, and you're trying to run your own trainings, and you're trying to be the top guy, the top girl, like you're doing it wrong. You're in the wrong phase right now. Your only objective is to PS3. Write this down. PS3. Peak interest, share the plan or show the plan, right? I typically just say share the plan, and then 3-way call. Peak interest, share the plan, 3-way call. If you can understand these 3 things, I promise you, you're good. I promise you, you're Gucci. How do you peak interest? It depends. What is your relationship with that person? Right? If it's someone who's older, more mature, has been in the workforce now for 10, 15 years, hey, over the past 10 years, how much money have you made off the money that's circulating in your bank account? Right? Maybe it's someone at work. Yo, did you know that there was applications where you can literally copy and paste trades into your phone and make money? Hey, are you someone that keeps your income possibilities open? Peaking interest is very easy. You have to know the person. I talk a lot about this in the cold marketing training about how to pique someone's interest you don't know. But your warm market, you know that person, right? I can't give you the one-liner, right? There's so many different one-liners. Use one of the 3 I just said, right? You're having a conversation with someone. Hey, have you ever thought about getting into any type of investing? Hey, have you ever done any type of digital like marketing or anything like that to make money online? You can even be talking with your friends and be like, yo, bro, I just saw this article. There's this kid on Twitch making like $15K a month. Why have we not tried to make any money online yet? It could be anything. It's just interest peaking. It's just the moment that, like in Family Guy, right? And Peter Griffin's following the candy on the floor. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy, right? It's just normal conversation. Guys, I don't like people that pitch people. Like, I hate it, right? It should just pique interest. Because if they don't want the information, don't give them the information. If they don't seem excited about it, if they don't seem interested in it, don't give them the information. They don't want to see the plan right now. And that's okay. That's okay. Remember, 4% of people in the world are business owners. 1% of people are investors. 95% of people work for someone else. So 95% of people need paradigm shifts. They need perspective shifts, right? So don't trip if people don't have the perspective that you have. You're a part of the 5%. You are not normal. You are different. And that is okay, right? So it's going to take time to show the other 95% what needs to be done, right? So peaking interest. Number 2 is sharing the plan. Guys, I don't do op calls without someone seeing the video. Whether you use whytradingworks.com with Mike Sotero, I love it. Whether you use the Matt Rosa video. If someone has the Matt Rosa video, Can someone, actually I have it. I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. whytradingworks.com is 13 minutes long. Phenomenal. I love it. That video, 4 minutes of chart breakdown, about 5 minutes of product breakdown, and then 3 minutes explaining pricing and compensation. Matt Rose's breakdown is 6 minutes long. It just breaks down the products, pricing, and chew and free in 6 minutes. It's literally, they're both phenomenal, right? I do not talk to people anymore who do not want to talk to me. Not because I'm lazy, but because I don't like to waste my time. Let me tell you why. I can do 200, let's say Hunter, right? Hunter says, Tim, I have 200 people that want to hop on a call. Would it be easier for me to do one call for 200 or to speak to all 200 individually? Would it be easier for me to speak to all 200 individually, or have Hunter send 200 people the video, 50 people become interested, and then I do 50 closing calls? What do you think is going to save me time and have a higher close rate? Someone who's what? Has piqued interest, has been exposed to the plan, and is looking to speak to someone who wants to do this. So you're telling me in the span of 10 minutes, I can get someone exposed and get them set up to be on a three-way call. Because why? Leverage. Because why? You have leaders that want to work for you. Okay, cool. Nick's on the call. I've talked to Nick. I said, Nick, over the past 5 years of working, have you ever invested any of your money or thought about investing any of your money? Alexander, bro, I know we were talking about different ways to make money. Have you thought of anything yet? Marcellus, over the past 10 years, how much money that's circulated through your bank account have you made money off of? Hey, Hunter, did you know that JP Morgan Chase does on average $550 billion a day in the Forex market? It doesn't matter what the one-liner is. It piques interest. Oh, bro, what's Forex? Dude, I'm actually looking into it right now. I think I found a company that blah, 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 right? It doesn't matter what it is, because this is what happens now. And this is even better for new people. I'll see if Jonathan's on the call. Jonathan Hernandez is on the call. Jonathan has put me in like 4 group chats yesterday and today. And every single time Jonathan and I have gone to a group chat, I do this. I ask the person how their day is going or how their weekend went. I've asked them what they've known so far. They say nothing. I say, cool. What I'm going to do is, because I want us to be on a fundamental understanding with each other, I'm going to send you a quick video that one of my business associates makes, and it phenomenally breaks down not only how the market works, but how we educate people. And if you see yourself being able to do something like this, let's hop on a call so I can break it down in more detail. Why? Because the interest has been piqued. Jonathan edified me, so I have authority over the conversation. And now I can leverage a tool for them to be exposed, because when I come on the three-way call, what am I doing? The third exposure. They've now been exposed to information 3 times. Once in the piquing of the interest, second in the video, and third when they're talking to me. Now, as someone who's been edified, someone who's been leveraged, do you think them seeing the information for the 3rd time is going to get them into the business? Most likely, right? PS3. You just have to know that, right? We don't even have to go about the rest of the information. You just have to know PS3. But let's go back to the list. And guys, I know I'm going through this really quick. This is why it's recorded. This is why I do these trainings like once a month, is so that you can be reminded of how easy this is. It's not difficult. We just make it difficult. Same way, trading is very simple. You make it difficult. Business is very simple. You make it difficult, right? We just have to kind of, stop being distracted by things that are irrelevant and just do what we've been doing our whole entire life, which is sales. We sell people on shit all the time. Whether it doesn't matter. We're not going to get into this conversation. So the 3 different groups, right? So the people who have influence. Let's say you're inviting for an event, and I'll start with an event, then I'll go to, we already did PS3, and then I'll do webinar. Or let's just do event first, right? People you have influence over, the easiest people to get there, right? And I know a lot of you have events coming up. People are running events every single week. This is something that if you just do this properly, you're going to see your events double. You're going to see yourself bringing 2 or 3 people per event, and you're going to start seeing your business grow and duplicate, right? Because they're going to watch this video. They're going to know exactly what to do. Let's say Hunter is one of my best friends, which he is, and him and I grew up together, and he always just does what I say. Not in a bad way, but I'm like, yo, Hunter, let's go do this. Okay, cool, I'm down. Hunter, what are you doing Thursday night? Not shit, bro, just playing the video games. Awesome. I'm about to go to this seminar to learn about investing. You're coming with me. I have extra tickets. What's it about? Bro, we're going to learn how to make some money. You're coming with me. Dope. People you have influence over, you're able to be direct. Here's another great example. I do this all the time with people I have influence over, and I just want to get them exposed. Yo, Nicholas, what are you doing right now? Nothing, bro. Yo, do you have 15 minutes? Yeah. I need you to watch this video right now because I believe I'm about to partner with this individual, and it's going to be extremely lucrative, and I want to get your opinion on it really quick. Or you don't even have to do the opinion. I'm about to partner with this individual. I need you to watch this video really quick. You and I are about to lock arms. What the hell does that mean? Bro, watch this video. I'm calling you in 20 minutes. Awesome. Cool. I'm watching the video. Ring, ring, ring. 20 minutes. I'll go about that part in a second. People you have influence over, just be direct. Do not beat around the bush. You do not need to beat around the bush. Just get to the point. Why? Because at the end of the day, at least they got exposed. We try to spend so much time with people we have influence over that the conversation goes on forever and then they don't want to see anything. Instead of just giving them the video and then asking what they like best and then assuming they're closed. Talk about that in a second. Now, people you have influence with. This one's easy too. They're all easy. I'm not going to lie. Let's say who else is on this call. I'm saying the same name. We got Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa, what are you doing on Thursday? Nothing. Awesome. Well, I'm actually going to a seminar that's going to discuss investing. And I know you and I have always been discussing about different ways to make some money. And I think this is going to be amazing. I bought some extra tickets. I'm going to take you with me. Cool. Dope. Where's it at? It's in Oakwood, but don't worry about it. I'm going to come pick you up. Dope. Right? Maybe you don't know this person very well. Right? Or maybe you want to, okay, let's say you don't know the person very well. Hey, Jordan, what are you doing Thursday? Nothing, bro. What's happening? Hey, man, well, I know at work you and I have been talking quite a bit, and we kind of been building a relationship, and I'm actually looking to launch a business, but I want to get a couple people's opinion on it, and I feel like you would be someone that would be great for doing that. Are you free to come with me? I already bought an extra ticket. I'd love to take you there and start learning about investing. Guys, you complimented them. You talked about money. You said you respected them. You want to get their opinion and makes them feel good. Did I have to prospect? Did I have to pitch? No, I didn't do shit. It was literally 2 sentences. It was that simple. Guys, here's the easiest one. People you're scared to talk to are actually the easiest because all you have to do is stroke their ego. Hey, Cody, I wanted to reach out to you really quick because I have a massive amount of respect for what you've done so far in life, and I know you always have my best interest in mind. But no, I know you always have my best interests in mind, and I'm actually about to launch a business that I think is going to be extremely lucrative for me and my family. But I need to get your opinion on it first. Do you have 15 minutes to check out a video? He's going to say yes. Why? You told him you respect him. You said that he's always had your best interest in mind. You talked about money, and then you used the keyword but. But is a psychological trigger. When you're in a quarterly, like, I don't know if anyone's ever had like a career, or especially in corporate America, you get these a lot, quarterly overviews, or yearly or bi-yearly, updates, and your boss brings you into the room, right? And they're always like, oh, well, you know what, Ria, you're doing great. The office loves you, but, and then your heart drops, right? The but word scares people. In leadership, when I did my master's, I always learned never use the word but when speaking to your employees because it scares them. But you can flip it and use it to your advantage, right? So everything I just said respectfully about them, I've got them excited. I've got them feeling good. Remember, they have an ego. I need to stroke that ego. Now I've said but. Now they're paying attention. All focus on the next statement. I need your opinion on whether or not this is going to be something that you believe I can take advantage of. Right? Or whatever you want to use at the end. Those were very easy statements for 3 very different groups of people. So what's going to happen, right? If you invite them to the event, you buy their ticket from them, you sit with them, right? You let the speakers do the job for you. That's the easiest one. If you can get people to an event, right? Hector was in the group chat with Jonathan and I. And the first thing Hector said was, he said the person's name. It was like, I'll just say Sally and Jimmy, right? Are you located near Raleigh? The person said, yes. He said, awesome. Well, let's actually meet in person. Let's get to an event. He always goes towards in-person. Why? Because the chances of a person being able to actually get started is much higher because now there's a much more perceived value when there's human connection, right? So if you have the option, always get in person. Always bring to an event. But if you live far apart, Always go to the video three-way call. We'll get back to that. Now, what's going to happen? The person's going to watch the video. They're going to go to the event, and there's going to be three things they're either going to say. There's only three options. Yes, I'm in. Yes, I like it, but I have a lot of questions. Or no, this isn't for me. All three of them are going to sign up, as long as you get them back to the line to get closed. Remember, rebuttals, objections, questions, right? From where we start, piquing interest, all the way for them being in this business is one straight line. Conversation is the only thing that's moving. As long as you get someone back to the line, they will get started. As long as it's straight line persuasion. It's Jordan Belfort. It's simple, right? Let's go through it. Why? Cool. Yes, man. Hey, the person you just got to talk to. Yo, I watched the video and it was awesome. Yo, Ryan, what did you like best about it? Man, that Go Live is crazy. It's so cool that you're able to get mentored with all these different educators. Man, that residual income is crazy. Only 12 people for $600 a month. Whatever it is they say, agree with. If someone likes Go Live, don't start talking about swipe trades. If someone likes the Academy, don't start talking about the web analyzer. If someone likes the harmonic scanner, don't talk about Go Live. Talk about exactly what they want to talk about, because that's what they're interested in, right? Be interested, not interesting. No one cares what you know until they know how much you care. So start caring about people, and maybe they'll join your business, right? I like that. Awesome. How about this, Ryan? I'm going to go ahead and send you the link to get started. So when you're in, I can introduce you to my mentor, insert edification, right? Let's do edification really quick. I'll finish the statement and then teach about edification. Let's go ahead and get you started so I can introduce you to my mentor, because I know that you and I could kill this. Now there's two options here. They say, yes, awesome, send me the link, let's get started. Or they say, no, I'm not ready yet. So this comes back to PS3. We piqued the interest. We shared the plan. This is one thing that I like. This is what people don't talk about. They always say go to the three-way call. I don't do that. I assume the close. I make it normal that people sign up. If I don't need to do a three-way call, I'm not doing it. Why am I wasting time? You're interested? You like what you see? Let's get started. Oh, but I have a lot of questions. Now we go to three-way call, right? This is also awesome, but I have a lot of questions. Okay, assume the close, right? But I have a lot of questions. Hey, I completely understand, man. I had tons of questions when I first got started, but thankfully my friend that introduced me to this got me introduced to his mentor. How about I do this? If I can get some of my mentor's time, if I can get some of my mentor's time, would you be interested in chatting with him or her? They're going to say yes, because they're interested. Cool. He's super busy. He's currently traveling around the world. He works with about 700 different traders right now. And I know he's super busy, but he loves being able to help new people. Let me go call him really quick and see if we can get you guys into a group chat. Does that work for you? Yeah, that works for me. Awesome. Don't make the group chat right away. Make the group chat in like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Wait. Guys, when I'm messaging people and I'm cold marketing, I don't respond right away. Sometimes I wait a day on purpose because I need them to know I'm busy. When you see a famous celebrity, do you walk up to them or do you run and you get your one question in? Why? Why do you do part number 2, right? Because they're busy. Their time is valuable. So make people realize that you're busy. Your time is valuable. You don't need them to do this. Stop acting like hunters, right? Just chill and fish. People are going to bite. You just got to sit with the pole in your hand long enough, right? That's how you build the business. You got to fish. You can't be shooting people. You shoot people, guess what? You don't have anyone in your business. So beyond the point, you put them in the group chat. Hey, Jordan, I want to go ahead and introduce you to Mike. Mike is actually an educator for this company. He educates in both Spanish and English. He's currently traveling throughout Latin America right now, but he said that he was super willing to schedule a call where he can answer all your questions. Hey, Mike, this is Jordan. He just watched the videos. He was super excited about cryptocurrencies. This is something that I've known for a very long time, and I'm really excited about, and I have a lot of respect for. I think if he gets his questions answered, he's definitely going to kill this thing. Why did I just talk about Jordan? Because now I give Mike the opportunity to understand who Jordan is, and I've also made Jordan feel good. Because I've hyped him up to the mentor. I've hyped him up to the authority. I've hyped him up to the third party. And now I know what Jordan likes. Now I can reply, hey, Vanessa, thank you so much for, you guys to see this. I always start with this. Hey, Vanessa, thank you so much for connecting us. Jordan, I'm looking forward to get to know you. Man, our crypto education is crazy, bro. It's insane. I'm super excited. When are you actually available in the next 2 days? Let's see if our schedules align. Oh, man, I'm free anytime. Cool. Okay. How about noon or 4 p.m.? 4 p.m. works for me. Awesome, bro. Go ahead and download Zoom. And about 3:55 tomorrow, I'll send a Zoom link. We'll hop on. I'll answer all your questions so you can see if this is a decision where you're going to be able to make money with it. That's it. You don't say shit anymore. You hop on the call, you reintroduce Jordan to the mic, and then you let Mike do the rest of the work for you. And your business has just grown. This is all you have to do for warm marketing, right? So if they say yes, assume the close. If they say yes, but then they have questions, do a three-way call. And if they say no, what do? You get them back to the line. You get them back to the line. Whether it's people you have influence over, and even if it's people that think this is dumb. You know what the best question is to find out why people truly don't want to do this? Ask them why. You guys ever thought about that? Be like, why? Why don't you like it? Inform me, bro. I'd love to know your thoughts. Oh, man, well, I just don't like that there's a residual side to this. Oh, bro, that's crazy. It's so crazy you said that. I kind of felt the same way. But what I realized was this company was over 90% customers, and it was the only way for them to actually, get this out to the marketplace was to use word of mouth instead of traditional advertising. And when you really look at it, this company educates in over 12 different languages, 120 different countries, and mentors over 1,100 hours a month. Do you think you can see yourself taking advantage of that mentorship? They're going to say, what? You know what? That makes more sense. Yeah, I could see myself taking advantage of that. You're like, so you're saying you don't have to recruit to make money? No, bro. I just wanted to talk to you about it because I was super excited and I wanted to get your opinion. I also thought you could take advantage of it. But how about this? Here's the key word. But how about this? If I can get some of my mentor's time, would you be interested in chatting with him? What's going to happen? They're going to say yes. They're going to say yes. What? Oh, man, well, this looks dumb. How much money have you made from it yet? Hey, man, I'm going to be transparent with you. I haven't made much. Like I said, I was just really excited. I wanted to get your opinion on it. And because the people that I've connected myself with have the results that I want. And if I keep listening to people who don't have what I want, I'm always going to live their lifestyle and have the same results I'm getting today. Have you ever thought about it like that? I always ask a question at the end because I need them to respond to guide the conversation next. That's the thing, bro. Okay, perfect. People always ask how much you make because you're the one giving the opportunity. They think you're the educator. The moment that you move yourself and you say, I'm not shit, focus over here, here's the light. The light's over here, guys. Focus there. People stop asking those questions. People stop asking those questions. Every three-way call I've gone on, no one has asked what rank I am. No one has asked how much money I make, what car I drive, where I live. They don't ask any of those questions. None. Not a single time. Not a single time. Why? Because I was edified and placed into a position of authority. They don't even know me, but they trust me more than they trust you. You guys see the power of edification? I could edify. Who's the newest person on this call right now that literally just got started? Let's find somebody. Someone that recently just got started. I don't know. There's someone on here, right? Let's say, whatever. I'm just going to use Bogdan for an example. Or Sai's on here. No, I'm using Bogdan. Bogdan's brand new. You guys started with us 2 months ago. I can get into a group chat and edify Bogdan. And Bogdan be brand new. Doesn't know how to close, doesn't know how to present, doesn't have a crazy amount of results. But that person will listen to Bogdan because I've edified him. And Bogdan will close because he is now the person of authority. If you guys are struggling getting people started, it's because you're trying to do it yourself. I literally promise you that's it. I promise you that's it. Guys, there's no such thing as an objection. There's no such thing. It's a lack of information. It's a lack of information. Why do you think every time you guys see, if you hop on my op calls, what do I say in the beginning? You can start with as low as $100. It doesn't take a lot of money to get started with this. It's open 24/5. So no matter what your work schedule is, you don't need a lot of time. As you're going through your education, I developed the blueprint. So if you can give me an hour a day over the next 19 days, you're going to have a fundamental understanding how to trade. Oh, well, Okay, cool. You guys have heard of Uber, right? You've heard of Cash App. Open up your Cash App right now. What does it say? Invite friends, make $5. Billion-dollar companies have realized people don't like advertisements anymore. They want word-of-mouth marketing. They want to do things that their friends have already done. So what our company began to realize, that if we didn't spend millions of dollars on YouTube ads and we let the people who are actually getting the results tell their friends about it, our company would grow much faster. You see how I've nipped every objection right away? Literally in the presentation. That's why people don't ask me objections. I never get objections. The only time people don't want to do it is they just tell me I don't want to do it. That's it. It's just, oh, it's not for me. And I'm like, whatever. I'll see you in 2020. Everyone's signing up in 2020. Guarantee it. Watch. Everyone's signing up in 2020 because everyone wants something different. People are going to say, well, let's do this. Let's go one level deeper. Let's say you're on this call right now and you're like, well, they're still going to ask me, Tim. They're going to say, okay, well, how much money have you made from this mentor? Bro, I am brand spanking new. Just be transparent. I am brand spanking new. I'm learning how to invest like the banks do. 2 months ago, I didn't even know there was a $6.6 trillion a day market. How do you expect me to make any money? Bro, you've been in school for 2.5 years. How much money have you made with that lawyer degree? I've been doing this for 2 months. I bet I made more than you. Sometimes you just have to be a savage. Fuck it. Who cares? They don't want to do it anyways, then just be a savage. Yo, I will straight up hurt people's feelings. I don't care. I just don't. Because if you're going to be arrogant, sometimes you need to be slapped in the face. Not physically, but by my words, right? By my words. Because sometimes you need the realization. If you don't want to be the person that's mean to your friends, I'll be mean to your friends. Your sponsor will be mean to your friends. Because guess what? They don't care. They don't care about small-minded thought processes. Why? Because I refuse to buy the opinions of people who don't have the lifestyle I want. When Alex Morin drops a $100,000 watch in front of me, do you think I care about the 3 no's I got that day? Or do you think I'm more worried about what the hell Alex Morin is saying? I'm probably more worried about what Alex Morin is saying. Guys, not everyone's going to do this. That's another thing. Oh, man, I'm not getting anyone started, bro. No one wants to hop on a call. No one showed up. How many people have you spoken to? Well, bro, I reached out to 7 people this month. Oh, it's about to get real. Savage mode activated. You reached out to 7 people this month? Do you know out of every 10 people you speak to, 7 people aren't interested, 3 people will watch the video, and 1 person will get started? The average person closes 5 to 10%. 5 to 10%. So what? You want to sign up 12 people? How many people do you need to speak to? 120. Tim, I made a list. How many names have you got on it? 30. No, 300. You want to go chairman, put 1,000 names on the list. Guys, I'm like, you know people. You know what I'm saying? Stop telling me you've talked to all your friends and you've talked to 10 people. Stop telling me you've talked to everyone. You've only talked to 50 people. Guys, right now, you may be new and you may be like, damn, like that's really aggressive. I'm speaking to people who've done this now for a long time. And you're not at the rank you want to hit. You're just doing actions that aren't getting you there. Right? Like, man, I really hope y'all were on the John Glomman call last night because he really just dug into this. It was phenomenal. What's the magic number that gets you into the chairman charts? Can you rephrase that question so I understand it? Thank you. Lalo, my guy. But yeah, I mean, that's it. So we talked about objections. Objections aren't real. They're not real. It's a lack of information. I always do this too. When I talk about the pricing, I say I say this every single time. You'll never hear me not say it. I remember when I paid $1,500 for my first course, I learned absolutely nothing. And then when I found out this course was only $200 to get started for the first month and $160 a month after that, I was pissed. Because I was like, wow, there was so much affordable information out there that I could have just got. I mean, $40 a week to learn from 6- and 7-figure traders, it blew my mind, right? Does that sound fair to you? I make people say yes. Does that sound fair to you? Yeah, that sounds fair. Yeah, man, it works just like any other subscription. You got Netflix, you got your phone bill, you got your car, right? You stop paying for it, you don't get to use it. You stop paying for this, you don't use it, right? Simple enough, right? Simple enough. Bing. And I tell people, awesome, bro. And I always do this. Well, I speak in front of large events. So I always ask people, how many people here watch Netflix? And everyone raises their hand. So many people, when I ask how many people after you pay for it, they all drop their hand, like 95% of people. I make a joke out of it. I said, is getting this for free, even though you think the pricing is fair, would you like to get something like this for free? They're going to say yes. They're going to say yes. And I say, okay, well, you look like someone who's going to take this seriously. So I already know you're going to get You're going to get results, right? But let's say that you're in class, or let's say that you're at work, or let's say that you post something on Instagram. People are going to be curious about what you're doing. What this company does is now offers a scholarship to where if you introduce two people to the business who have the same mindset as you, they don't make excuses, and they want to learn how to make money off. You see how I qualified them? Because now when they give me excuses, they can't, because I told them they don't make excuses. Guys, it's a game. You got to remember it's a game of wordplay. It's a straight line. Get them to the line, right? And they get started. Now you never pay that ever again. And then I call, okay, you remember the cash flow quadrant? Remember how I talked about business owners, investors? Let me tell you why this company is one of the most special companies I've ever seen. Then I break down the cash flow quadrant for them again. The power of a cash cow, the power of OPM, other people's money, the power of residual income, taking that money and reinvesting it. I'm like, does it make sense if you're making $1,000 a month to invest $200 to $500 a month into your trading account so you can compound that money? Yeah, man. I mean, I really, at the beginning, I thought I only wanted to trade. Exactly, bro. I want you to have a residual income so you don't have to work, so you can only focus on trading. There is no such thing as objections. I don't believe in it. I just think it's a lack of information. It's a lack of understanding. If you said, yo, I have a bunch of gold in my backyard, right? Do you think someone's going to ask you, is it real? Or was that little piece of information enough for them to at least drive by and check it out? That little piece of information was probably enough. Hey man, I'm at whatever. Name a suit store. I'm at Jose Bank and they're doing buy one suit, get one free. Come out here, bro. Let's get some suits. They're going to come because you gave them the information they need to make a decision. The only reason people don't join is because of lack of information or lack of value. That's why I say guys, I don't convince people to do this. I tell people not to do this. I straight up tell people, get off the call. During my off calls, you guys have heard me say it, get off the call. Why? Because I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to do three things. Educate you, create a level of understanding how to take advantage of that education, and then provide value. Most of the time, people don't do this because they don't think that you're going to provide the value to get them where they need to go. A lot of the times people don't do this because they don't believe that doing this action is what's going to help them get to where they want to go. Travel the world, open up a business, open up churches, retire their mom, fill in the blank, XYZ. I don't care what it is. Because no matter what people want to do, there's always two things that are required: time and money. If you have the money and you don't have the time, you can't do it. If you have the time and you don't have the money, you can't do it. What gives you time and money? Residual income. That's the only thing. Poor people, they pass over opportunities repeatedly. Rich people, residual income creates happiness. Residual income. That's it. It's the only thing that does both. It's the only thing that does both. So they need to understand that this action is what's going to allow them to accomplish what? Their why. And that's why there's relationship building. That's why, guys, like, I'm going really into the deep end. I'm going over to a lot of topics I haven't covered yet. But this is the exciting part, right? How am I able to, this is all I wrote down. I didn't write down any notes. I just wrote down the main topics: belief, make a list, how to ask, objections, follow-ups, which I'm talking about last. I don't need to write down the notes because I've just done it over and over and over. I've read the books. I've done the action, right? Sometimes you just got to go ahead and do the action and get the things done. I'm going to look at the, so start climbing the chairman charts. I really don't know what that means. If you're talking about like getting into the mentorship charts, you need to make six figures, or you need to have at least 6 months of positive analysis where signals are being called. Number two, I tell people if you don't have 225 to start and 165 a month, you need this more than you think. Yeah, I mean, I do that a lot. I do that a lot, but I do it carefully how I say it. I do it carefully. I never say it directly. I do it a lot of times on group op calls. Remember, I want to offend people, but I don't want to go too far. I talk about that in the op call, right? When I'm in the op call and I'm saying, hey man, if you don't have $100, $200, you need to do this. If you don't have enough time, congratulations, you're never going to have enough time. I always do it when I'm speaking abroad, not directly, because when you offend, we live in a cancel culture. You offend anyone, you say one negative thing, you're screwed for the rest of your life. We have to understand where we're at in the time period we're at right now. We're a bunch of babies, right? So we have to work with people. We have to understand how people work. And guys, the presentation, if you can nail everything in the presentation, which the presentation is a skill set, and I plan on in December doing the 7 skill sets of a network marketer and 5 characteristics of an influencer again. I'll do that training probably second or third week of December. I'll talk about that. Last but not least is follow-ups. Fortune is in the follow-up. 90% of people, for the most part, don't sign. Most people do not sign up on the first exposure. That's why there's the peaked interest in the video. That's why I believe in doing the video, because now you're on a third exposure. 90% of people will sign up after seeing information 7 times. They must see information 7 times. This is why getting people's social media is important, because they'll see your stories, they'll see your posts. This is why just getting the video in people's hands is important. This is why getting people to events again is important, right? Because some people need to be exposed multiple times. Guys, it's only 12 noon once a day. It's only noon once a day. There is 4 phases of people, right? There's high noon. There's I'm really happy at 3 o'clock. I'm at my lowest low, and I'm getting ready for a new opportunity, right? And Eric Worre talks about this, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but just know you have to follow up. If you bring 10 people to an event and they're all really excited, you have about 24 to 48 hours before that excitement leaves. If you don't follow up, you won't be able to get them in. The fortune is in the follow-up. Guys, I always find ways to follow up. I call it the compound follow-up. I have a meeting with someone. I follow up with the next day. They're not ready to go. I follow up 2 days later. They're not ready. Then I follow up 4 days later. They're not ready. Then I follow up 2 weeks later. They're not ready. Then I follow up 4 weeks later. They're not ready. Then I follow up 2 months later. They're not ready. Then I follow up another month later. Why? But I'm always following up. And I find excuses. I always find excuses. Hey, man, I actually just read something in this book and it made me think about you. Hey, bro, I know you were super interested in Go Live. We actually just launched a new language. I wanted to see how you're doing and also update you. Sometimes I'll just say, hey, man, I have some crazy news for you. Wanted to reach out how you're doing. Because I don't want to tell them the news right away. I want them to respond to me so I know they're actually responding. Because sometimes if you just give the news, they read it and they don't respond. I make them respond first, right? Because I get them back to the line. You have to follow up. You have to follow up. One of my favorite follow-ups is, what did you like best? Not what did you think? Not what are your thoughts? What did you like best? Why? Because now their brain is formulating things that they like, and now that gives you the opportunity to assume a close. Every time I've tested this, I literally have tested this on 3-way calls, and I've done it intentionally. Anytime I say, what do you like best? I always get a positive answer. Anytime I say, what did you like best and what are some of the concerns that you have, people go directly to concerns. Every single time. Every single time. Now, it doesn't bother me because there's not a question that I'm afraid to answer, right? But why bring anything negative to the picture when I can just keep it positive? I can just keep it positive. So, guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, I hope that this was extremely beneficial. We went over the updates for the week. Big calls happening in December. We went over Believe, Confidence, Influence. We went over the different kinds of lists. We went over different ways to ask, whether it's to a webinar or to an event. We went over, handling objections and how to follow up. Each one of these topics can go for an hour long. Each one of these topics, like literally objections, I can talk about for an hour. Following up, I can talk about for 2 hours. Making a list, I can talk about for an hour. These are all in detail things. Guys, these trainings, I really want you to, I need you to understand this. If you feel right now, and this is just important, I'm not calling anyone out. I just need you to realize this, because I think a lot of people think like this, because this is how I used to think, right? When my mentor stopped spending one-on-one time with me because they were taprooting through my business and helping other leaders, I would get really upset. I would get like, damn, why are they not working on me anymore? Whatever, right? I know how you're thinking right now. If you aren't getting the one-on-one mentorship that you want, it's because you are not using the information you're receiving on the group calls. I look for people who act off group information, because the group information is the same shit you're getting on the one-on-one. It's just a little bit more personalized. You want more one-on-one mentorship? Take advantage of the group calls. Guys, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how long I teach you. It doesn't matter how much I mentor you. It doesn't matter what your potential is. You must take action. If there is no action, there is no results. It's the same thing for trading. It's the same thing for your relationships. It's the same thing for business. It's the same thing for school. It's the same thing for everything. It's like if I put up all the ingredients for dinner right? I give you the pans, I give you the sauces, I give you the spices, I give you the meat, I give you everything you need. But you don't start the oven up and you start putting things into the pan, you're not having dinner. It doesn't matter what I tell you if you don't go out there and go get it done. So guys, this is recorded. I'm going to upload it. I'll make sure to share it in the chats. If you have any specific questions, shoot me a text message just right here. Send me a voice message, 224-433-1527. Shoot me a voice message. I'll be able to answer that for you specifically for things that you're struggling and dealing with. I do have a couple more things that happen this evening, so I'll respond as quickly as I can. I promise I'll respond tonight. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for staying on. Thank you for having your cameras on, for taking notes, taking this seriously. Guys, December is going to be the month to remember. January of 2020, February of 2020, March of 2020 is going to be the most powerful months that I've ever seen in business happen. My belief level is literally through the roof. If I can't even explain it. That's how excited I am. So with that being said, guys, anything you need, please let me know. I got you. I'll take care of you. Mike and I are here to serve. There's going to be tons of updates about the weekly webinars that are coming. You'll see it in the chats. You'll see it in Discord. You'll see it in the Telegram. So we'll all be chatting soon. Enjoy your guys' evening.